right, John, thank you very much. You know, the new year is coming along, and it's always a good time to think about the year before, what we've done, what we plan on doing, and that pertains to everything in our lives, including how we access the internet. And I know that sounds bizarre, but a gentleman from Cisco is going to explain the connection. It is so nice to have Carlos Dominguez here, Senior Vice President at Cisco Systems. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Michael. Great to be with you.
Yeah, with us via satellite.
Yes.
We should have used the Cisco system. Next time we interview, we'll use that.
We could have had telepresence there.
All right. Next time.
Next time.
In the meantime, this time we're talking about some of the age-old and new risks of using the internet at work in particular, right, for younger folks?
Yes. Well, we just finished conducting part 3 of the Cisco Connected World Report. And, you know, through the part 1 and part 2, we've actually uncovered some unbelievable things. We actually surveyed 2,800 college students slash workers under the age of 30. And they said some things that, to me, were surprising and others that were not that surprising. But one of the things they said is that 1 in 4 believe that the internet is as important as air, food, water, and shelter.
Wow.
And the one that really hurt me personally was that 2 out of 3 would prefer an internet connection over a car.
What?
So you can see that, you know, they've grown up digital. Their behaviors and attitudes are different than our generation and my generation. And, you know, we seek to understand it. So we're uncovering some pretty cool stuff.
Did everybody in that survey grow up in Manhattan or something like that? How do you not have a car in most of America? Come on.
I don't know. Well, this was out of 14 countries on a global basis. And, you know, the attitudes are also quite different. What we found is that 1 in 3 of these individuals would actually prefer to socialize over Facebook than being in person or partying with their friends. So, you know, they're a different generation, and, you know, we really need to understand their attitudes and what they want.
Wow. And so by doing that and by being so committed to getting online, they expose themselves and their employers sometimes to some sort of risk, right?
Well, they do. And, you know, the other thing that was quite interesting in the survey is that 33% don't see anything wrong in sharing personal information online. And the impact of that was that 1 in 4 of these individuals had actually experienced identity theft before the age of 30. So obviously they're sharing way too much information online.
Wow. Did you say 1 in 4?
1 in 4, 25% of this generation has experienced identity theft. Now, you know, some of it is behavioral when it comes to what they share in privacy online, but, you know, we also uncovered a number of different attitudes around how they protect devices or don't protect devices. One example was a large percentage of them left their computer and mobile phones in a public area unattended. Many of them said that, you know, they loaned their computer to people that were strangers unsupervised. So when you added all of these things together, it actually does create some interesting challenges when they enter the workforce and they bring these great gifts of sharing and being collaborative to the workforce, but also are exposing us to unbelievable risk because of their behavioral issues.
So what can we do? How do we take this information and learn from it?
Well, we can do a lot of things, and the answer with all of these things, and as a father of 3, I've learned that nothing is black and white. So, you know, the first thing I think we need to do is really understand what they're doing, which is what the Cisco Connected World Report is doing, is giving us the information. And then what we need to do is look at what their behaviors are and say, well, what could they do differently? So I think educating them a little bit, explaining to them why corporate information and corporate data should be protected, why they need to watch their devices and guard their devices are all things that we can do. And I think it also puts a lot of emphasis on us in corporate America that are responsible for some of these policies to really maybe reconsider. I'll give you an example. 30% or 1 out of 3 companies block Facebook and social media on their corporate intranet. And, you know, you get these younger people that come in that rely on these technologies for basic communications, and it creates a problem. One of the examples that is quite simple is one of my daughters, who works for a company that does block it, experienced a situation where she was working late and she was trying to communicate both to myself and my wife via her tool, which is social media and Facebook, and she wasn't allowed to do it, so she had to do something different. She had to pick up the phone and either call or text to let me know that was going on. So,
or she could just use her Facebook app on her smartphone.
Well, they do. Well, you know,
there's a little bit of workaround there. I mean, for better or worse.
It's funny that you say that, Michael, because the other thing we uncovered is that 70% of this population in the workforce are actually violating the policies that have been set for security inside the corporation. So, you know, they are getting around for a number of different reasons.
Yikes. Carlos, where can we get more information?
Well, you can get more information if you go to Cisco.com and do a search on Connected Report. And there's a lot of really fascinating data. And I hope your listeners can take that information, learn from it, and also implement some new policies.
Perfect. Carlos Dominguez, Senior Vice President at Cisco Systems, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Michael. Great to join you this morning.
All right. Amazing statistics there. I was really just shocked doing that interview. Such a pleasure to speak with him. In the next hour, we'll talk to you about one company which is changing.